For today's video, I'm kind of going to do a hodgepodge of comments about recent things going on in D.C. And I just have to laugh at this. The GOP looks like it's trying to eat its own, or the extremists, the more extreme. I mean, they're all a bunch of extremists compared to when I was growing up. But these most paranoid white power outfits, these nut jobs like QAnon, they're vowing to leave the GOP because the worthless Senator Mitch McConnell, Moscow Mitch, has acknowledged what is no doubt a fact, and that is that Joseph Biden is the president-elect of the United States. Okay, he's acknowledged it as soon as he felt safe enough to say that, after the Electoral College certified on Monday. And they're threatening to leave. They're throwing a hissy fit. And I say, don't let the door hit you on the backside. But of course, the GOP, it used to be a big tent like the Democratic Party. I'm old enough to remember that, where there were conservatives and there were moderates and liberals. There were a lot of liberal Republicans. Back when I was in my younger days, you know, back in the 60s, back in the 70s, and even before that. But the Birchers and the Dixiecrats took over. The Dixiecrats ditched the Democratic Party after the passage of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. They gradually ditched it, and then the Birchers started getting on, joining forces, and now it's just outright white power outfits that are getting to be more and more mainstream. So now it's shrunk and shrunk and shrunk. Its base, the Republican Party has, to now it's nothing but a white male party. And of course, this is why, because it's a shrinking base, that's why so often they've reverted to voter suppression and outright cheating and other stuff, dirty tricks, in order to retain power, gerrymandering, and all that other crap. So this was kind of funny. I'll believe it when I see it, when I see the QAnon supporters leave. And another thing, I want to know, now they've been mad, these weirdos have been mad since Fox acknowledged the fact that Joe Biden had carried Arizona, and they had projected it a day or two after the November 3rd election, and they were proven right. They've been mad at them ever since. But now Newsmax has also acknowledged that Joe Biden is president-elect. And of course, Newsmax is run by the infamous Christopher Ruddy. For if you are a student of the bogus Clinton scandals, the Clinton Chronicles, I think, was one of the videos, and I had that, by the way. I had it on VHS years ago, that the late Jerry Falwell Sr. had peddled on his program. Ruddy was involved in all that kind of stuff. He was involved in all that kind of crap with the bogus Clinton stuff. And it'll be interesting if these QAnon types stop watching Newsmax. And I think there's that OANN, that's the One America News Network, or whatever it's called, another propaganda outfit. It'll be interesting if they follow suit, if that network follows suit, and then QAnon just completely turns their back on them. So we'll see what happens. I'll believe all of it when I see it. And then you got this damn weirdo that from North Carolina, he was urging Trump to suspend civil liberties to keep power. I don't even think Trump gives a crap anymore now, because the doors are all closed. Reportedly, Melania and Barron are down in Florida, and Melania is looking for a new school for Barron to attend, of course, a hoity-toity private school. And And another, at which, as an aside, my understanding is that many of the neighbors close to the Mar-a-Lago mansion, or whatever you want to call it, estate, they're upset that he's coming down there. And they don't want the Trumps moving in as a permanent residence. So there's that too. So it'll be funny where the hell Trump eventually ends up. But Trump isn't going to suspend civil liberties. I would have been more concerned about it right after the election if he did. But now, no. And hardly anybody's heard anything out of him much. And then these idiots... this is Roger Stone again, remember? Stop the Steal is affiliated with that criminal Roger Stone, who should still be in prison. But they're demanding that Republicans give the election to Trump. And they threaten to take their toys and go home if they don't. So it's kind of the same damn bunch. So it says here, Right Wing Watch, right-wing activists who falsely insist that President Donald Trump won re-election held a press conference Tuesday to talk about their path forward after the Electoral College votes cast in every state Monday formally affirmed Joe Biden's presidential win. The activists threatened to unseat congressional Republicans who do not go along with their demands to object to certification of Joe Biden's Electoral College victory. So they want to steal it. This is the organization called Stop the Steal. That title, that name, is projection. Of course, they want to steal it. They accuse the other side of stealing, but they want to sit there and do extra legal and downright illegal stuff to overturn an election, and it's actually, again, it's sedition. And they're still saying this crap. This one dude says that, and it's always these minor political figures. And this idiot says Trump did win this election, stolen from the American people. He said Republicans, if they do their jobs, Trump will serve another 4 years. Not happening. He's in the process of moving. Not going to happen. But of course, what I can fully expect is old Mitch McConnell's just going to throw his old carcass around and throw his old witted carcass around and try to stop every bit of legislation that Biden proposes or that the Democrats in the House propose. Because that's what he does. He's useless. But we'll see about this. I'm pretty sure he's not going to do anything. And there's no way you could say a man who took far more votes than he should have had, 74 million, that 74 million is more than 81 million that Biden-Harris won. Nah, not happening. But, the batshittery isn't just on the right. This thing, I've talked about AOC, and I think she's a world-class rat fucker. And the more she talks, the more I can't stand her. Now, I don't like Mitch McConnell, for obvious reasons. But this thing is doing the Republicans' dirty work for them. But again, she's not actually a Democrat. She's a Democratic socialist, which is the same thing as Bernie Sanders. So she's a Bernie Sanders groupie. So is that Ilhan Omar. So is Rashida Tlaib. And the so-called squad. They're all these Democratic socialists that caucus with the Democrats. And they run on the Democratic Party, but they're actually not actually Democrats. They're more like independents. And she's a world-class rat fucker. She spends more time attacking Pelosi and Schumer and people that actually know something about government. This little idiot doesn't know anything about government. Two terms, she's in her second term now. And she thinks she's going to set the world on fire and she's the future of the Democratic Party. If she's the future of the Democratic Party, then the Democratic Party is doomed. Because she is not on the wavelength with the public. She's a Sandersite. And like I said, they're rat fuckers. That's what they are. And furthermore, she's an idiot for having written this thing, and I called her an idiot, and I probably got blocked by her. I don't care. And this is what kills me. She sits there, and she's on Twitter almost as much as Donald Trump is, unless she has a staff member that does all her tweets for her. But this is a bunch of shit. When you say sex work is work, you're dead in the water, woman. Because first of all, there's no such thing as sex work. It's prostitution. And prostitution is not work. It's not work. It's not governed by any labor laws, because it's human rights abuse. And human rights abuse is not something that an elected official or any person with a brain should be supporting. So I was furious over this. But she's one of these lib-fems, or one of these postmodernist groupies also, who believes every damn bit of crap she was taught in college. That somehow selling yourself or trafficking in human beings, that's somehow empowering. It's not. And if Ocasio thinks that's, Cortez thinks that's real work, I want her to try it. I want her to go out and turn tricks 5 or 6 or 7 times a day, every day, to put food on the table with men that are disgusting, that are violent, that do all kinds of perverted garbage, and even kill women because their girlfriends or their wives, because the vast majority of these Johns have a relationship. They're either married or they're in a relationship, but their wives or their girlfriends, they're not into the perverted crap that these porn-fueled guys are into. And so they want to buy a woman or even a child and do all this demented stuff. And if women actually chooses, first of all, they don't choose it because they wouldn't have anything to do with these guys in the first place. The choice is all on the part of the person, of the abuser who buys the women. But if it were up to me, if I were running this country, I would round up every John and every pimp, round them up, and then shoot them. I'd have them shot on sight. It would not break my heart. That's how much I hate this. And it's not whitewashing what this is not okay. And so she further makes my shit list by saying something as stupid as this. She's a moron. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a moron, and she always will be a moron. And she should not be given a platform, as far as I'm concerned, claiming she's representative of the Democratic Party. She needs to be knocked off her narcissistic, personality disordered perch.